Welcome everyone. I am so humbled would have to be my reaction to this program. The fact that every one of you has stepped up, and we've had 40 in the chain of responses, 40 people who have recorded their video and added a donation of Vitamil to their ADR. So can we all just like celebrate that for a second? Like, woo! Woo! That is just, the power of coming together and focusing on one thing. And if we haven't learned anything else from that, it's just that excitement and passion comes from working together. And look at all your faces. Like, I'm scrolling through here. How many have we got on? We've got 32 participants live. We know that there are a lot of people who are either working or in different time zones. So this is going to go on, and this is going to create ripples throughout the Nu Skin world here in the South Pacific. And my dream is truly to empower you all to get to your next goal. So whatever your goal is, we are one team. We are the Nu Skin family, but we are also more than that. Through this New Boss Challenge, we are inspiring each other to take the next step to really push our own limits. Because let's face it, there are some people who come to Nu Skin and all they want is just a good community to hang out with and some good products. But we've all stepped up and said that we want to be professionals in this business, and we want to achieve a new level. And we've got goals, and we're going to commit to a system. So get ready. Have your notebooks on hand. This is going to be the ride of your life. We're all going to be learning so much along the way. And I'm just very blessed and humbled to be working with leaders, Blue Diamond leaders like Veronica, for whom this program would not be launching tonight if it wasn't for her literally standing by my side and going, come on, Catherine, we can do it. First, Sam Harrison reaching out and saying, let's encourage everyone to get to Greece. We can all do it. So we've got that's our lineup for tonight. I'm going to start sharing my screen because we've created a bit of a PowerPoint. Now, bear in mind, this is a work in progress. It's a pilot, and we're continually going to be developing it. We've got an outline. I wanted to have everyone's beautiful photos uploaded, but I didn't receive them till later, and then I was on baby run, dinner. Who else? You can raise your hand. Who else does the dinner dance with the family at night? Yeah, we're pretty much offline. There's nothing else happening from 5 p.m. in our household. So here we go. Let's do full screen view, slideshow, presenter view. Here we are. So tonight, I'm grateful for the coaching that I've had. The format that we're going to go through every night. So I'm actually going to give you a little bit of an overview of the night, and then we'll tell you what we've told you at the end, and recap it in the middle. Okay, so this is the NuBossBabe Academy. Welcome. You've all watched our overview video, so you know what it's about. You know it's about stepping up. Congratulations, we've already said that, but I really want to start with our Nu Skin mission statement, because this is what unites us all. Without this, we would fall apart. But our mission in Nu Skin is to be a force for good in the world, empowering people to improve lives with rewarding business opportunities, innovative products, and an uplifting and enriching culture. So read that every day and feel that we are on the mission every time we open our mouth to invite someone to be a part of it. This is the magic we get to invite them to. And again, I will keep repeating that the only competitive advantage that any company has is the culture of its organization. And if you're out there talking to people that are in other network marketing companies, it is our responsibility to make Nu Skin have the best culture And that's why we're so open to reaching across the gap and working with sidelines and bringing this together, because without a great culture, people will go elsewhere and they'll have inferior products as a result, and it will be our fault. So we need to be bringing our best game to this every single time. So briefly, what we're going to be basing this whole program on is stuff that you already know, but it's just going to be bringing it together. It's going to be bringing it to the local market, and we're all going to be working on it at the same time. So if you've been in the business for more than 5 minutes, you will be familiar with System 7. And sadly, when I started the business, I heard a lot about System 7 and I saw this diagram, but it didn't mean anything to me. I was just like, oh, it doesn't mean anything at all. But it really does. This is the core of what we do every day and every week and every month and every year. So making sure that we're aligned is the purpose of this. So we're going to be going through each and every week one of these, one part of the workflow, and also a core habit. And we'll be doing that so that you're going to be equipped to use the event cycle, where you're doing initially your one-on-one presenting to people, and then bringing them to some sort of business briefing or tool, whether that's a phone interview like tonight, it was just, or whether it's a Thursday overview with Graham Park online, or whether it's a physical event. So the importance of actually following this system and then inviting to the regional. And we've got Team Elite University and Fly-In coming up. So for all of you who haven't already got this in your diary, we are at a really pivotal time right now. It's the beginning of the year. Not only do we have 3 months to qualify for our next pin title to go to Greece, or for Ruby initially to get to Greece, but we're also just coming up to our Fly-In, which is, the Brisbane Expo, which is run by Corporate, first weekend in February, as well as our local team kickoff. So really important that we're knowing how to invite to that and using personal presentations and business briefings prior to the Fly-In, because by following this system, I just want to uphold it to everyone. Some people think, I'll use the Fly-In or the expo as a first exposure. It's not going to be enough. You're going to almost waste it. I mean, it's great if you meet someone that week and you can still get them to the expo, without having shown them anything beforehand. But we've got, nearly 3 weeks before that expo and before that weekend. And if we're taking too long to present to people and to get them started, you're losing out on not only their interest and their commitment between now and then, but also all the people that they could have present at that Fly-In event on the 4th and 5th of February. So I really want to encourage you right now, with your goals in mind, you've just set them. Make sure that you're going through this process of inviting your personal presentations, getting people to a business briefing really quickly. And then, of course, you're going to be going through getting them started and working with your team, just so that, if you can imagine, that they're not just turning up at Expo, but they're turning up at Expo with their team, or they're possibly turning up at Expo already qualifying as an LOI or already an executive. It's completely possible, but it's about that speed and about certainty. So we really want to impart certainty in everything that you do. Okay, now we do have a book list. We've nailed it down to 3. There's GoPro by Eric Worre, The Miracle Morning, which the author's name eludes me, and also the one Useful Belief. I will post these in the group, but they're ones that, if you have listened to these already, I encourage you to go back and re-listen on Audible or whatever audio app, and eat them up again. And if you haven't download them pretty quickly and get used to the language, the habits, because this is really foundational for what we do throughout the course. The format that you can expect from each call is basically, from 8 to 10 past 8, there'll be a catch-up. We hope to be, asking questions and bonding as a team. It'll be Q&A, a little bit of fun, a bit of recognition, and then we're going to get into the core of what's going on. It will be a 30-minute call, so we will wrap it up kind of around the 8:35 mark with tasks, and we want to get off at 8:40 just because we want to be ready for our miracle mornings the next morning. So that's it. Now, today's objective is we're going to be covering very quickly goal setting and mindset, how we can get to Greece, even if you're brand new today, knowing your plan and working it and tracking your progress, and also one simple invite that you can learn and teach to your team in 2 minutes. Okay, so that's kind of, if we look at the system 7, I've highlighted what we're focusing on today. So it's setting goals, really, and inviting. Now, first up, we've got the beautiful Sam Harrison. Thank you so much, Sam. She did send me through a photo, but at the moment you've got some cool Asians in your team hanging out there, Sam.
Oh, cool. So, Charlie's Angels.
Yes.
Okay.
So take it away.
Thank you very much. So, yeah, I'm doing goals, which I absolutely love, mindset and Greece. So for those of you, I've spoken to a lot of people since Christmas, I guess, and I feel that the enthusiasm and the excitement is almost like they feel like they can't achieve it. So after the leadership summit, let me tell you what people were doing from all other teams, as well as some in our team that are qualifying, and is unbelievable. So it's just getting that massive action out there. And I think with this call and everybody aligning together, there's no better time than this 90 days. So if you aren't an executive yet, well, obviously your main objective is to get to executive. And anything that you don't understand in any of these terms or words, just ask your upline. I won't be going into all the terminology of the LOI or Q1, Q2, all that sort of thing, but most of you do know. So with this quarters, I absolutely love 90-day plans. So for our main purpose statement, which I'll talk about in a little bit, we usually map it out for a year and then breaking that down into 4 quarters, which is your 90 days. So for our quarter, I've spoke to Alice as well. We spoke to Alice on the weekend and just confirming that you need to have your LOI January, February Q1, and March your Q2, which is an executive. Now, I think the reason why it scares so many people too is because they think that they have to do all the work themselves. Where in actual fact, if you're asking all the right questions and, like Catherine was saying, tapping people into events and driving that line, which we'll be talking about too on these calls, and getting to their people and just asking the right questions. You can have 4 LOIs pretty quick. So if you set your mindset, if you set your intentions, and I've written down, if you've all got pens and paper, just things that you can implement into your 90 days, starting, most of you have probably already started for the new year, but starting if not, then starting tomorrow, then I think these will really help you. So just think you're not going to be doing it on your own. You're looking for people to help you lay the foundations of this business. And that was one thing we learned on the weekend, the Leadership Summit, was instead of thinking me, start thinking we, and start looking for people, asking the right questions. Do you know anyone that not only wants to look younger, feel younger, but wants more freedom and choices? There's, out of those 3 things, there's got to be someone that's look younger, feel younger, or want more freedom of choice. There's got to be something, unless they're totally no, and then you just move on. So just asking the right questions, asking people if they know anyone that would like some free tickets for the Brisbane Expo. So just really work with your mentor or your leader about what you're saying, because I think that's half the thing, is we make it so complicated and so lengthy that we sort of lose the people. And we've just got to be really quick and smart and savvy and start doing this. And the quicker and the faster we are, the better we get at it, the more confident we get at it, taking no's and going for no's and talking to more people. So I write down 1 to 300 people that I want numbers for in the next 90 days. So driving that line is like, who do you know, and asking your new prospect as soon as you get them and they're a little bit excited and see what you want. They want to go to Greece, and asking them, hey, telling them I'm going to Greece in September. Not only am I going to Greece, I'm going to be I'm getting bonuses of $7,000. So, and the way that is once you become an executive, then you become a gold executive. You've got your 1,000 fast start payment. Then when you become a lapis, you got 2,000, and then when you become a ruby, you get 4,000. And I always like to play little games or analogies, and I think if any of you were looking for a job alongside what you were doing right now, and you saw one advertised in the paper, and it said a trip to Greece for the qualified person, a trip to Greece, $7,000 spending money, and average of $4,000 a month by September, who would put their hand up and do what they said to do? Pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, pretty much like being a rep. Like, you think about what hairdressers do. You think about those people that stand in the supermarkets and sell to, they get so many no's. They don't get any of this opportunity that we get. And they don't build a residual income that just keeps on coming and coming and coming. So if we look at it in that way, like think in September, in the next 4 to 6 weeks, and hey, this is 3 months, that there's no reason why you can't get someone to executive in 1 month. Seriously, after seeing the weekend, and after if you drive that line and work with your upline and say, hey, I've just found a lady, Sally. She wants to come to Greece. She wants the 7,000 spending, and she wants $4,000 a month. So then we say, okay, Sally, who do you know? Tap her into events, tap her into calls, and she might give us 20 numbers. So we're thinking of me. We need to think of we, and we need to think of who we're talking to, because seriously, there's so many people out there, and especially this month and next month, they're thinking, how am I going to pay all the bills? How am I going to pay the mortgage? So we've really got to get our heads out of the sand and start thinking of we. So think about that job. Keep thinking about that job. If someone offered you that job, would you do it? Would you get out of bed? Would you change the way you talk to people? Just think of that boss every week when you have to report into them, and they said, okay, Sam, what did you do this week? How many hours? Like, if I'm going to pay you $1,000 a week, how many hours did you work? What did you do for my business? Would you be able to write down what you did? I'm pretty sure if all of us had to do that for the next month, every week, I'm pretty sure you'd step it up to be feeling like worthy of earning that $1,000 a week, worthy of taking his trip or the company's trip, and worthy of having that spending money. Would you get out of your comfort zone? Would you go to more meetups? Would you do more calls? Would you do more power hours? So a few things that, how am I going for time, Catherine? Can I have another 2 minutes?
Yep, go for it.
Great. So a few things that I have changed in my business, especially I took a bit of reflection end of last year and thought consistency is one thing. I find that from Monday to Thursday I'm really, really good with my exercise, with my food, with doing my spa, all that, and then from Thursday to Sunday I sort of pull back a bit and it's social, which is okay, but I've just planned on doing more consistency and just keeping, because I feel that by the time I get to Thursday, like just with good sleep exercise, all that, I feel so good. And then you come to Monday, and if you haven't slept as much, you haven't eaten as well, you've been out too many times, Monday, that's why it's called Monday-itis. So just for me, that consistency, and this miracle morning has really, really helped me with my business. So every night I set my intentions for the next day, and it's Power Hour. It's my miracle morning, and in my miracle morning, I usually wake up around 5. I never used to, honest to God. I would think I deserve to sleep until 6:37 because I do a lot during the day. So now I exercise. I either go to the gym or I go for a run, or if I'm feeling a little tired, I listen to my body. I'll go for a walk, and I'll try to go for a swim in the ocean because I think that's really, really good for us, for our metabolism and our skin. If you don't live near the ocean, go for a nature walk. Just get out there. And then I come home and I have brekkie. Then I do my main purpose statement. And the main purpose statement is on page 23. And I saw a lot of you have done it today, which is fantastic. So do your main purpose statement, and also followed by your self-confidence formula. And I used to do that in the beginning when I was told I had to do it. And then I will tell you, I probably have thought, I don't really need that self-confidence anymore. So I've sort of let it go a little bit. And I know Catherine's really big on it. So I had another look at it.
Pam,
yeah.
I'm just going to interrupt you because you're taking up too much time.
Okay.
You're done.
Thank you very much. That's awesome.
Great.
I know it's your real passion, but you could talk us all forever. So thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Sam. So
That was awesome.
Our next speaker is our beautiful Veronica. Here we go. Veronica, I'm going to hand over to you. So as I said, I had trouble importing pictures and people into our PowerPoint, but I will give Veronica the screen, and I will also gonna share the notes that she sent for me. So Veronica has an amazing background as a professional teacher. Were you actually a principal at one point in time?
No, I certainly was not.
Oh, you just have a good authority.
Absolutely. I'm just a really bossy bitch. I'm the second oldest of 6 kids, so I learned to be bossy very early. So
you give me the ruler.
Yeah. Okay, so tonight what I'm talking about is, so you've set your goal and now you need a plan, and it's about knowing what plan you're working and being accountable. So within this business, there's many different ways that you can build the business. As you know, we've got lots of products to choose from, and it's very much down to you to decide, which way is going to suit you best. So what I've thought is here is, what are the things that you need to consider when you're deciding what your plan is. Thanks, Catherine, doing awesome there. I'm in awe of your technological expertise. So what are you passionate about? Are you going to choose to focus on the nutritionals, on the spa, on, which area of the business? But you also need to consider, what's going to pay you best. I think all of us have income goals. It's no point focusing on, the whitening toothpaste if you want to be earning $1,000 a month in the next, sort of couple of months. Well, you might do, but you're going to have to work pretty hard. For me, it was about looking for bigger licks of money. Looking at your own time and, sort of family constraints. If you have small children, you're going to be more tired. You might not be able to get out and about as much as perhaps someone like me whose kids are grown up. Yes, I started this business when I was still running another business, but now I have a whole lot more flexibility. Thank you, New Skin.
Veronica, I would just say, totally, if you are, what you're passionate about and who your target market is, if you are going to go down the toothpaste route, have a chat with your upline about how to make that work and how to go faster, because it just requires a bigger army of people to distribute it. So you've got to be very clear on how many people you need and how many units you need to sell to achieve those goals. So yes, they're smaller units, but you need to find more people. So keep going. It is possible.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. And TUI is an absolute example, fabulous example of that. Having got to Ruby and created Rubies, and she's got this whole, as Catherine said, this army of people selling, all these small products. So, who is the demographic that you want to appeal to most? Who's your target market? What's the demand? What sorts of things are they looking for? And so what do you need to focus on? It's your business, but you need to make sure that you're focusing on products that are going to, sort of bring you in some money, but also, there's a demand for them. So whether it's the galvanic face spa and body spa, whether you're going to build a business around Y-Span and the nutritionals and the scanner, whether it's Facebook-friendly, low-cost products, whether it's skincare, makeup, or any combination of the above. I mean, for me, whilst I started with the face spa, I quickly learned that if I wanted to build a really strong business, I needed the ADRs, so those automatic orders coming out every month. And the best way to do that for me was through the nutritionals. So, again, really important to talk with your business partner to decide, okay, what do I love? What am I passionate about? What can I get the most energy, feel the most energy about and get out there and share the best? And then really focus on that. You don't have to focus on all of our 250 products. Just choose your niche and go for that. And so then accountability is going to be a huge part of realising your goals and sticking to your plan. And the step tracker is amazing for that. For those who haven't seen it, we're going to put an example up here. I think you might have loaded it. But it's a graph that you fill in. It's actually in the workbook that we've got, and it's something that focuses on the activities that build your business. So in this business, you can kid yourself that you're doing new skin and spend hours on the internet, learning about products and listening to YouTubes and watching this and watching that. You can knock yourself out with that stuff, but that will not build your business. Unless you're getting, you're adding people to your list, you're inviting, you're presenting, you're signing them up. They're the things that are actually going to build your business. And so they're the activities that are on the step tracker. Catherine, have you got a picture of the step tracker there or not?
No, but do you have one to hold up? Because I was unable to import it. So, but basically it's a really good goal sheet.
Okay. So can you see me? I don't know what you can see and what you can't.
I will make sure that everyone can see you. Give me about 30.
I'm not sure what they can actually see on this. I'm holding up a step tracker, but probably in that health business plan book, it's on page 22.
Yeah.
Can you see that there?
Yeah.
So what you've got on the step tracker here is a list of names and numbers. So you've always got your people recorded that you're going to talk to. And then the activities down the bottom are, new contacts added, how many calls or invites have you done?
And the 407 is the one that the race.
Just a reminder, if you could mute yourself.
So the teacher in me, there's only one person talking at a time. Sorry about that. It's me at the moment. So we've got how many appointments did you set? Follow-ups have you done? People have you enrolled? And another thing that we're going to add on to there is, your accountability call if you're doing one with your upline, and also your Facebook time. So we should be posting, if you're trying to build your brand and to build your following on Facebook. So, however you're going to use it, whether it's just for prospecting or actually for retail sales as well, you need to be getting onto Facebook every day, says Veronica, who hates doing that and who often skips that. But when I put it on my step tracker, I'm going to have to do it. So there you go. So the step tracker is going to help you be consistent. It helps us to train and mentor you. And I think that's me done. So make sure you do it.
Okay, thank you very much. Now I'll get back to me. Have I muted myself? Can everyone hear me?
I can hear you, yeah. I'm just going to mute myself.
Yep, we can hear you.
All right, fabulous. I'm going to share my screen now too. I've got the privilege of sharing a really simple invite, and the reason, so this jumps completely from, accountability to just a really basic skill of how to invite someone to take a look at this business. So this is more, and the reason that we're doing this is so that you've got a heartfelt way of connecting with people, and we're really going to push you to do it, because I found that the one thing that the one thing that new people are really scared to share is the business. I don't know about everyone on here, but new people generally, they will be so happy talking about a wrinkle iron that irons wrinkles off their face, or about their great results with Y-Span. But as far as the business, they'll choke. So I wanted to show you one system that was taught to us by Alan Nagel, a very, very famous and successful team elite executive, and very powerful in getting people to connect with their dreams. So you can go back in your workbook. There are principles for when you're inviting, to obviously clear the time, compliment people, create curiosity, control yourself, and confirm an appointment. This style that I'm going to show you is more about connecting them with their dream. And we've all seen this slide about the 40-year plan and how we get to offer a 4-year plan. So this kind of comes in after you've had a conversation. It's not something that you just get on the phone and say, hey, did you realize that we're going to work for 40 years and I could show you how to, retire in 4. I mean, depending on your relationship with someone, you may be able to do that, but this generally comes after you've warmed people up, and we're going to be teaching you more about, how to talk to people about their family, their occupation, their recreation, how to find their dream, but just to connect with them. But once you've warmed people up and you've got a bit of rapport, using this string invitation is quite powerful. Here I am. Hello. So this is an example of how to show people in an emotional way where their life is headed, and it's something that you can say to people, hey, I've just learned, or you can lead into this, but it's a really good tactile, emotional, visual way, and it's going to be part of your homework. Okay, so I know even on the leadership call we had some people going, but I wouldn't do it that way. Sometimes your homework's going to be just a little bit arbitrary, simply to show that you're coachable. So we're going to get you to record a video of you doing this, just because you're going to need to do new things, and sometimes they don't make sense until you've done them a couple of times. So taking notes, I will put them up in the group as well, but basically if you have a piece of string with you, you say, I've just learned, Veronica, that this is like our life. And have you thought about it ever, that we spend, if this is say 80 years, that we spend 20, 25 years of our life just acquiring skills. We go to school, we work hard, then we study hard so that we can then get a job. And then we spend 40 years of our life at that job, working really hard, making sacrifices so that we can, climb the pay scale. And, hopefully at the age 65, we retire here. And then we have maybe 10, 20 years to enjoy at the end before health decline and before money runs out. And it's a bit of a sad thing. So out of all of our life, we're working hard a lot of the time and quite consumed with it. And for most people, this time at the end isn't really enjoyed because they haven't played their cards right. and they've either spent all of their health getting their wealth, or they've lost their relationships and they're just on the decline. So that's if they even make it there. So I'm actually working on a project at the moment that instead of working for 40 years of my life, I'm going to work for the next 4. And instead of working just hard, we're going to work hard and smart for 4 years. And then we're going to have the rest of this time to enjoy. And it's going to be where we can create significance with our life, and we can be with the people that we love while we still have health and we've got all of our energy to make an impact in the world. And we're working with products that are actually helping us look and feel great and young. And my goal is not to just do it in 4, but to do it in the next 1. Is that something that interests you at all? And then you leave it in their court. So, and you use your body language and your eye contact with them. So while you're speaking, you're checking in that they understand it, because the natural instinct is to, look away because you feel uncomfortable. It's to divert and, fiddle with your hair or something like that. But actually, when you do that and you let them think about their life and what the alternative is, and you say to them, does that interest you? Would you be open to learning how to spend the next 4 years working smart so you can retire and then live a life of significance and enjoyment? And you connect with those eyeballs, watch their response, and you'll see that they'll be actually putting themselves in the seat of, this might be important enough for me to take a look at. And then you can invite them to watch a presentation or have a one-on-one or have an overview with the intention that they're going to find their answer that they're looking for. 40-year plan with the 4-year plan. And that is what we can do. I mean, if any of you doubt that, you just have a look at some of the stories of Shiny from Japan, who earned her first $1 million within her first 4 years. She became a blue diamond in 1 year. Tui, both her and her her 3 rubies that I spoke with are earning more than their full-time income. And one of them did it in 3 months. We are we have the power to change people's lives. And can you imagine what people would do with their lives if they weren't having to set their alarm and go to work early every morning and worry about the bills and pay for before and after school care? How different would the world be if in your local community, even just 10% of them had a different life and they could give to the local community because they'd built a Nu Skin business? So what we covered today, Sam covered mindset and goal setting, and you can get to Greece. And I would encourage you, first of all, with that mindset of if you've decided that your next goal is to be executive, you are actually taking your team to Greece. So whoever your upline is, you're helping them to get to Greece. And that adds to the magic of the culture of Nu Skin, and it adds to the story that you get to tell, because one of my biggest prospecting stories when I first started was that Karen had been to Rome, and we were part of sending her there, and we got to share her story that she went to Rome on her Blue Team Elite trip. Now, Veronica shared with you about the plan that you need to follow and how to track your progress. So working out very precisely, not just scatterbomb, have a really precise plan on what you're going to be working, and work on that with your upline, so that, for example, how many toothpastes do you need to sell to make 1,000 points, and how are you going to do that? Or how many businesses in a box, or how many galvanic spas. Literally step it out to the products and then the number of presentations that you need to make to sell that kind of volume. And then I taught you a simple invitation so that you can get started this week actually inviting people to consider having a look. And of course, in that invitation is a little lead into some of the products that we're working with. We're working with products that make you look and feel young. Does any of that interest you? So the homework is, if you haven't already broken your year goal, break it down into the next 90 days and adjust your actions accordingly. The second part is make a video of you doing the string invitation. So for however you're feeling, it's okay. Just put those feelings aside and trust me that going through the process of learning that is going to be empowering for you. And then say, one day you find a better invite that you prefer. Just practice doing it as professionally as you can so that it's there, it's from the heart, and you've got the eye contact. But just the fact that you're going to go through this and do it and practice using that script 1 to 3 times daily, depending on your goals. Just go out, and I would love to hear how you feel just overcoming and learning something new. So with that totally wraps us up for tonight. I'm really, really grateful again that you've all committed to learning these skills, to having a professional attitude to your business for maximum impact, and excited to carry on the conversation in the Facebook group. So last note, I guess, on the etiquette, what we'll do for all of the homework, and it was lovely to see everyone's posts go up a little bit all over the place in the end, but just to help us in checking it, if we'll put up, please post your homework under here. If you just add your video under that one post, they're all in a string and we can really easily at a glance just go through rather than everyone's being on the wall. Although I did love that. So it's okay, but it just makes it a very busy page and it makes it hard for others to find new information. Yeah. So I will put a heading up, homework goes under here, and then just add your video of you doing that string invitation, and you can also add a photograph of your plan, what it is that you're committing to, whether it's the number of presentations per week, it's basically what you've agreed on to target, and be aware it doesn't matter if you've decided that you're going to be selling polishing bar or focusing on social media. You may get a business in a box sale. Don't say no to things that are not on your plan, but have that plan there as your daily method of operation and know what action you need to take. So I'm expecting my team, I'm expecting you to be calling me with your plan as well. And of course, Veronica and all the other leaders, make sure your teams are being accountable to you to work out the details and then output your homework. So beautiful smiling faces. Sorry, tonight went a little bit over. Many blessings. Have a beautiful, restful night, and unmute everyone and say goodbye. Let's I don't know.
Good night, everyone.
Woo! Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Maybe you should go Sydney and
Thank you.
Night. Yeah, because but driving to Uluru is